How you doing? My name is Keon Elder, and this is my EDTR 261 final exam. For my first slide, I covered the areas of intelligence. There's a few assessments that fall under this area, far as the most common Stanford, Binet, and Wetzler's intelligence scale, followed by the problem with bias, interpreting results, and common mistakes using poor quality instruments, and does not consider multiple intelligence. The next area being covered is educational assessments. The type of assessments include Woodcock-Johnson and Kaufman tests of educational achievement, curriculum-based assessment versus criteria reference tests, performance evaluation versus authentic assessments, using student work samples such as like journals, portfolios, any type of student work that you can cover. Problems with identifying students based on referral information rather than testing. The next slide is steps in administrating tests. The first point was get familiar with student before testing begins. Engage in friendly conversation before testing begins. I guess just like to give them comfort. Just fill them out. Explain why the testing is being completed. Provide a brief introduction to the test. Begin testing in calm manner. The next slide covers the area of behaviors, pretty much like behavior assessments, adaptive to behavior scales, ABS, measures how well students adapt to different environment, gathering data, developing functional behavior assessments, FBA, and monitoring student progress. And I feel like both of those two are critical because they have to meet a certain milestone and criteria at every stage of development. And then they follow up with using the RTI, which is a response to intervention, which is the easiest way to assess using the RTI when you measure a student's baseline prior to intervention and afterwards. Sorry, my notes. And afterwards. The next area is social emotional functioning. The use of BASC, which stands for Behavior Assessment Scale children, measures children's emotional status, includes parent, teacher, student rating scales, interpersonal domain, such as like teamwork and gather along with others, intrapersonal personal domain, that pertains to like work ethic, positive self-evaluation. The next area is assessment of language, which measures the student's effective use of speech and communication skills. The use of Woodcock-Johnson, the fourth certain subtests address language specifically. Subtest 1, which covers like letter and word identification or recognition. Subtest 2 covers spelling. Subtest O, which is as far as like reading and stuff like that, and also involves an adaptive component. The next area is, the next slide is perceptual functioning, which measures the child's learning through sensory interactions with the environment. Types of tests that you can use with like motor-free visual perception 3 and developmental tests and visual perception. And the last area is physical development assessment, uh, which what is covered. What covers that? What physical development assessment? Which is like the use of DST, which stands for developmental screening test. Early diagnosis and intervention is critical. Uses developmental milestones. Encompasses both cognitive and physical measures, fine motor and gross motors. The best practices to use as parent-centered approach, um, which the best practices to use a parent-centered approach, which prioritize the family and their needs. And my references is Overton J. 2015, Assessing Learners with Special Needs, and Applied Approach, Edition 8, Pearson, which was the text that we used for the semester. And then my last slide would be the authentication document, which shows my work ID. Thank you for all your help this semester, giving me knowledge, helping me gain, and I hope you stay safe and your family stay safe, and I appreciate you. Have a good remainder of the year. I appreciate you for the semester.